All right, man. What do we got this?
So you ready
Robbie?
for the Jimmy Butler? You know, he was on the jump.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Liking a post about James Harden.
Let me get this straight. I just want to put this out clear, right? I told you a couple days ago, I'm really not into the idea of the Heat trading for James Harden. This isn't even a hating on.
It's on record.
It's on record. And again,
Okay.
this is not even me hating James Harden as a guy or the fat stuff or the culture stuff. People talk about all that stuff. When I see the fans talk about that, that's silly to me. I told you. I think the Heat can turn anybody and make them Heat culture for a shortened amount of time. But I got some Wade Harden stuff that I can't get past right now. All right, I don't like that. I don't like the idea of them putting the Nerd Kings basketball player up atop Dwayne Wade if he were to come down here and win a ring.
Oh, by the way, yesterday was the anniversary apparently of my video demonstration between James Harden and Dwayne Wade. The difference.
It was. How weird is that, Leroy? It was a year to the day yesterday of Robbie doing the Wade Harden foul demonstration.
Here's what I'll say about that. You take a guy like Harden, who is a great basketball player. Forget how if you don't like his style. He's a great scorer.
He's great, yes.
And he wants to win. Now, this is not a situation like Philly Cheese, who wants to win. This is a great basketball player who wants to win, because what's at stake for him is a lot different than it was for Philly Cheese. So,
no doubt.
If you get him in Heat culture, I'm not just going to say and chalk it up and put him to with all the other guys, because he is a great basketball player.
Yes.
And he would be committed to it. So let's not discredit Harden because it's happened to these other guys. Those guys aren't on the same level as a player as Harden.
Yeah, and I think also part of this is me. If you do the Harden thing, the Giannis thing is over. I'm curious to see where the Giannis thing goes, because I don't know, man. I heard those answers this week. That dude, that sounds like a dude on the way out. But yesterday, as Robbie was saying, so Jimmy Butler was on the jump. All right. Now, yesterday, this report came out during our show from Shams about James Harden. He has added the Heat and the Bucks to his preferred destination. Now, the Bucks, I don't know what the Bucks literally have nothing to trade. They gave up everything for Drew Holiday. Right. I don't know. I think that's almost like they're trying to build some kind of a market that's going on there. I don't see it. So let's just take them out of it. So let's say it's the Nets, the Sixers, and the Heat. The Nets are in a weird spot because the Nets apparently the report was that they wanted Durant or they wanted Kyrie back for him. Okay. And then the Sixers have a weird thing because the Sixers obviously have the Morey thing. They want Ben Simmons, and there's some friction there between the team and the new GM there, because they thought Daryl Morey was leaving and he was going to go spend time with his family like Urban Meyer. Week later, he takes the Sixers job. Okay? So the Heat are this other team that's out there, and you have Jimmy Butler going on Instagram, and Jimmy Butler's not a super active social media guy. All right? He doesn't post a ton. He's not on Instagram a lot, but he's on Instagram, and he likes the report on Instagram of this report that James Harden has added the Heat to his preferred destination. Coincidentally enough, Leroy, that same day he's on the jump with Rachel Nichols. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the last time there was a coincidental Jimmy Butler, Rachel Nichols interview was back at the Minnesota workout. Remember where he wanted out of Minnesota, had the infamous practice where he destroyed Andrew Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns with the Wolves backups. And then all of a sudden, Rach was there with a camera, and they're doing an interview. So coincidentally enough, the day that he likes a James Harden tweet, a James Harden post on Instagram, Jimmy Butler's on the jump. And Rach is there to ask about it. And look, you're not going to hear a straight answer from Jimmy, but there's a cat ate the canary kind of look to him. That's
What?
a little just hear
what?
that. A cat that ate the canary. You know, like Sylvester the cat, he ate Tweety Bird. He's got the look on his face. The old lady, oh, did you eat that Tweety Bird? And he's kind of got the look on his face.
just crawled out.
Well, listen. The point is, listen to Jimmy Butler here on the jump. Here's what he had to say.
Our staff noticed that you liked a post on Instagram from Bleacher Report that said James Harden has added the Heat and Bucks to his list of preferred trade destinations.
Ain't that
What did you like about that post, Jimmy?
I like his hairstyle.
That's it.
His player, like little dreads, some braids. The beard looks well nourished. I like the post.
What do you think of the idea that James Harden might want to come to Miami?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff always in the media. I think that he's a hellified player. I like the group that we have. And I mean, to tell you the truth, I just want the guy to be happy. I think that's what life is about. That's what the game is about. And yeah, so what? I like the post.
So
When did Jimmy go on the Spirit Quest?
You know what it's like to be in that situation. You wanted to trade out of Minnesota a few years ago. We all know what happened next. Have you gotten any flashbacks when you've been hearing about what's going on with James and the Rockets?
Nope, no flashbacks for me. I'm where I want to be. That's behind me. That's the past. I'm here. I'm locked in on the Miami Heat right now. I'm telling you, I like James. He's a friend of mine. I just want him to be happy. I do.
What do you make of it, Leroy? What do you make of it, man?
You want me to break that down for you? Because y'all unfamiliar with player talk and coach talk. Right? He's a friend of mine. It's the same way you reacted when you found out Bam and Giannis had the same agent.
Yup.
He's a friend of mine. Is the same way you reacted when you realized LeBron and D-Wade were friends.
Yup.
He's a friend of mine. Right before you found out that Kyrie and Kevin Durant were joining up.
Chirping it up in the old
So-
tunnel.
I'm not saying this is what Jimmy's thinking, but I'm telling you what he's saying. Pat, Andy, I give my okay, and we can make this work. Make it happen.
Man.
Am I wrong?
I agree with you.
When you say, hey, he's my friend, when you put that out there,
My friend.
he's my friend, that's your way of saying we can play well together. We'll make it work.
And if you guys read anything Jimmy Butler has said about James Harden, I mean, the hardest guy in the league to defend.
Oh, yeah.
Effusive praise for James Harden.
Now, that being said, here's where Jimmy kind of has to take the Tobin road.
What the hell does that mean?
Because there will be a question in the near future that says this to Jimmy Butler. If the Heat add Jimmy Butler, you know you're going to have to give up Tyler, K. Nunn,
Yep. Probably
maybe Duncan Robinson. How do you feel about that, Jimmy? It's coming. It's coming. Because if I'm a reporter, that's the next question. Because guess what? That's how basketball works. You got to give up something to get something.
Well, that was interesting because there was a report yesterday. Greg Sylvander of 5 Reasons said that they are not willing to put Tyler Hero in the James Harden trade. Here's the thing, bro. That's all well and good. I'm here to tell you right now. They're not getting James Harden without giving up Tyler Hero. All right? Let's not live in Peter Pan land. All right? I know everybody's trying to F with the Rockets right now because the Rockets are in a really bad spot publicly. James Harden's trying to make a stink. Don't forget with Anthony Davis that he literally said, I'm only going to one team. The Pelicans still got a lot for him.
A ton.
A lot for him.
Because, well, as we found out, Ingram is no bum.
Yeah, like the Pelicans, they got a gazillion first-round picks. They got Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. They got all the young pieces from the Lakers, basically, except for Kuzma, which is whatever, bro.
And guess what the Lakers got?
Anthony Davis.
A championship.
So it was worth it. It was worth it. But the point is, he nuked the market, and they still got a ton for him.
Right.
So everybody's in this spot right now. I think there's a couple things playing out. One, there's a lot of drama with James Harden and the Rockets right now. So the Rockets are kind of mad, and I think everybody kind of knows that we're not gonna give our best offer right now. Someone's gonna have to come in over the top to get James. Two, I do think the Giannis thing matters here. I do think that Giannis having his extension in a couple days, that deadline that's coming up, that there's still probably a piece of the Heat that's like, do we wait this out? Do we see if Giannis doesn't sign his extension, is James the orca we go after?
Well, you got that in a couple of days, so it doesn't matter. So
in 10 days, yes.
In 10 days. But here's the other thing that is throwing this off a little bit. Time. You don't have the time to let these decisions marinate like you would in a regular offseason. And so with what are they playing, 65 games?
Yeah, I mean, opening night's in 12 days.
So understand that he's not going to be in heat shape. He's not going to be up on how they do things. How long is that going to take? A couple of months?
Yeah, but here's the thing with that. James Harden not being in shape, he also never misses games. He's never hurt.
Right. Which guess what? If you want someone or a situation that will change this Heat team, imagine having a guy who doesn't miss games. That's that good. Mm-hmm. Just add that guy, whoever it is. Giannis doesn't really miss games either until this past year.
The interesting thing, too, is, there was some accusations back in the day. Remember when Jimmy was on Minnesota that Riles was puppet stringing for him to make a big stink because he wanted to get to Miami initially, and that, they wouldn't break, and Minnesota just kept asking for more.
Are you saying?
What? Bro,
all right.
What? This happens. Riley's puppetry. What do you think about Gogi? Gogi back in the day with Phoenix, with the force of the trade. Gogi. Hey.
But here's what I'll say about that. Gogi, okay. Jimmy, okay. This is a different level player.
Oh, 100%. But
okay.
What if they're? But I'm wondering. Okay, let's say Jimmy went to them and says, I give you my blessing, but don't give up Tyler. And Riley's going to be like, okay, bro. Well, that's going to be easy. And so Riley's going to be like, he's going, all right, listen, we need James Harden to make this really bad, really bad.
You know what this is going to test? I hate to say it about the Godfather. It's going to put him out there again. Because he just finished saying, people think I don't care about draft picks and young players.
They're so wrong. We are getting a lot of texts as far as the James Harden thing is concerned. Text writes in, does the Heat beat the Lakers with Harden minus Tyler, Nunn, Duncan? Hell no. Heat don't make the finals if Harden was on the team instead of Tyler. Harden is a subtraction by addition.
No, here's the problem. And a lot of people don't do this. You're looking at Harden as the guy he is in Houston. You can't see or project what Harden would be here. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, Harden wasn't always that guy he is in Houston. So to say he's always been that guy is not accurate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's got experience. He's had experience now the last 2 years playing with guys who are very ball dominant as well. Now, he is the main guy. He was the main guy.
Right.
But, Houston hasn't been a disaster. Like, they've still stayed pretty afloat with him as that lead dog.
Think of it this way. You think if KD could have Harden on this team, he'd want him?
Oh, yeah, we know that. I mean, he tried to get him. He's trying to get him.
So think about that. Like, don't look at it from the standpoint of what you think about Harden. Because I get how everybody's looking at Harden and ball dominant, dribble, shoot. But what about KD? You think he gets more credit, has more credibility than us? And he wants Harden. But when another player...
But Leroy, he's a sourpuss.
Okay, but sourpuss aside, if healthy, top 5 player.
Probably top 2.
Top 2. So with that being said, if he says, I want Harden, are you buying it? Because
yeah, look, I'm not even. This is the thing. To your argument, I don't even have to make for KD. Your argument is fine. You could replace Kevin Durant with the name Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler's going on ESPN and telling you he's my friend. He's liking posts about
you
it.
You forgot the thing you do. Wink, wink, wink.
I like how Jimmy Butler's like, what? I liked it. So I liked his hair. He's like,
wait, but then he pulled the old Tobin.
Wait,
you ready? Yeah, it's funny. You knew exactly what I was talking about, huh?
Oh yeah. He had to get that in there, and I do genuinely believe that Jimmy Butler likes the team that he has. Like, the team just went to the finals. I think Jimmy Butler feels fine, but Jimmy Butler also wants to win a championship, and I do think that there is an argument to say, hey, Tyler Hero could be a fantastic player. I mean, he's probably not going to be that in the next 2 years. Like, he's probably not going to take that championship leap. Maybe he does. Hey, dude, maybe he becomes the next Devin Booker, and they're adding that. But I still think there's a lot of. I think Jimmy probably thinks there's a lot of growing that has to go on there.
Here's the deal. Everybody's talking about Harden's defense. Okay. Tyler, Gogi, and Duncan.
Yeah.
Okay, stop.
Yeah, they were fine with it last year.
Stop.
They covered up for that last year.
Stop.
What they needed.
All I'm saying, the only reason why I'm saying that is let's not make it sound like the guys you would get rid of are lockdown defenders.
Well, I will say, though, that Tyler Hero right now is probably the most popular guy on the Heat. We did a poll. Remember, we did the poll.
Yes.
What was it, a month ago? And we asked for Giannis, and we're like, Tyler for Giannis, and people. What did we have? We had like 4,000 votes or something like that. 50% said untouchable, and people were like, well, he's untouchable. No, untouchable. 50% of the Heat fans said he was untouchable for Giannis. Right. And so if you're untouchable for Giannis, then people think you're untouchable for anybody because you're talking about the reigning 2-time MVP.
Okay, but here's the deal. And this is not a knock on anybody involved in this. If you sign Giannis, you're basically signing a taller Jimmy Butler. So why not have some diversity in what you do as a team? Mm-hmm. That's what Harden is. A different type of scorer.
Yeah.
So, I get it. And you can talk about defense. You can say, oh, no, but he doesn't play a lick of defense. But the three guys that you would trade him for at their best is just a scotch higher than James Harden.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, so a lot of people say, well, what about, why can't we go get Bradley Beal? And it's like, Bradley Beal has a lot of, if not more of right now, the same defensive shortcomings that Harden. He's a terrible defender. He's terrible, Bradley Beal.
You have to score 30 a game if you're like, now in the NBA, it's one or the other. Mm-hmm. It's not both, except for Kawhi. He doesn't average 30. Paul George, By the way, stop the press.
Oh, no.
4 years, $192 million?
Playoff P.
Playoff paid.
Don't say that to yourself.
I don't get it, man.
4 years, $192 million.
Do you think Kawhi's going to stay there?
4 years, $192 million. If he's worth $192 million, James Harden should get 4 years, $400 million.
Oh.
Come on. Really? Dude, hey. Did somebody go to somebody go, hey, who's the owner of the Clippers?
Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer.
Which, by the way, $190 million to Steve Ballmer is a drop in the bucket.
No, but here's what they say. Hey, Bombs, we know you're willing to spend any amount of money, but we have this thing in the NBA called the salary cap, and you can't use all that $46 billion. Right? You can only use, what, 140 million?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Right. So somebody said pandemic P.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I saw that. I was like,
come on.
I'm like, really? The guy.
Wait a minute. So they basically gave him the same money that Houston offered Harden.
Yeah, they just gave him the Giannis deal, basically.
Holy smokes. I was like, oh, wow. Now, you know what's going to happen, right? Playoff P going to do playoff P things. And then
Kawhi's going to bolt.
Yes!
Yeah, he's going to bolt. He's going to go. Kawhi's going to bolt. Might bolt for the Lakers.
I do believe, here, I would say this, that you cannot like what Harden does or how he plays. But sometimes guys have to do things because that's what's needed. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt from this standpoint. Every guy knows when they come to the Heat what is expected of them before they get here. And so if he signs up for it, he understands what changes he's going to have to make as far as basketball, as far as defense, as far as all those things. And he's a great player, man. Great players that want to win, not get paid, that want to win.
But here's the thing, though. We're making fun of playoff P. I would say Harden's a more notorious choker than Paul George is. Like, he always comes up small, Leroy. He's got some epic chokes in his career.
Here, I would say this, that if Chris Paul doesn't get hurt, we're not having this discussion.
And maybe, but in that game 6, like they he was awful as the MVP.
Yeah, he was. He
was awful.
He
and
was.
He's got plenty of those on his resume.
Oh, okay.
So, and look, that's something that maybe you say, bring him into the Heat. That changes. You know, maybe this is the right mix for him. But one of the things that drives me nuts, and when I say, like, as a guy, you know, when people always say, like, oh, Harden's above Dwayne Wade in the pantheon, and I'm like, Dwayne Wade's an all-time winner. He's never had that kind of a choking performance. So many great times where he's risen to the occasion when his team's back was against the wall. James Harden has never ever done that for his team.
Can I say something about that, though?
Go ahead.
I would be more inclined to say that LeBron had one of those moments, but when you think of D Wade, he's always been able to be the guy because he's never been in a situation where he had to depend on somebody that didn't come through. You understand what I'm saying?
Clarify that for me. What do you mean?
So in 06, he knew that I can just be me because I got big fella, right? And he's a dependable alternative. So he can relax and play. There's a difference in going into a game or a series or whatever and knowing if I don't do it, nobody else is. And so what I would say about the difference between Harden and Playoff P is Playoff P had one of the best sidekicks you could have in Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard played poorly also. But
not that poorly.
No, not that poorly. But again, the weight of the team was not on his shoulders. It wasn't on playoff P's shoulders. So for him to come up short, knowing that all he needed to do was be average, and he was below average for them to have a chance because they had their alpha dog in Kawhi. With James Harden, every time he's been in one of these situations, except for OKC, when he was a sixth man, it really shouldn't have mattered. You should be talking about the other guys. But in all these situations in Houston, it was James Harden or bust. Except for the year they had Chris Paul, and Chris Paul got hurt. Then it went back to James Harden or bust.
But I would say, though, if we're looking for this guy to come in, and they're going to be, I imagine at the end of these games, you're going to be going to James Harden.
Like, we're worried about the wrong things. Is that all you're worried about? Is, what are we going to do at the end of the games? The Heat were fine. Heat were fine at the end of the games.
I'm not worried about it, but I'm telling you, this is what we're bringing him in for. Like, if he's the
no, you're not.
If
you're not bringing him in for that moment. You're not
bringing James Harden in to be the prolific end of game scorer for you.
No, you're bringing him in as another option. That's it. They played the best team basketball in the league, and all of a sudden you're gonna bring somebody in and say we're bringing you here for that one moment. No. Question: Can I ask another basketball question? Because this bothers me.
Of course.
We make a big deal about who's gonna take the last shot.
Yep.
Right. How often are you in that situation?
Not much. But
okay, so do you understand when it comes to the success of your team, right? You're making a big deal about something that very rarely happens.
But I'm not just talking about last shot. I mean, if you're going to look to James Harden he's going to be your number one offensive option in a lot of those situations. When stuff slows down, when you need a bucket, that's what he's supposed to be the best at.
Okay, but can two great players play off each other?
Of course they can. Of course they can. But
why does it matter?
Because
who's gonna? You're making a bigger deal about this than the team makes.
No,
especially the Heat.
This is the big reason why. Okay, if I'm bringing James Harden in, is James Harden a two-way player?
Not really.
Okay, one of the reasons is because Bam and Jimmy, they're gonna have to lock everyone's ass up. So his ass better be doing all the other stuff on the other end of the court. Because one of the reasons Jimmy Butler was walking like a corpse in Game 6 is because not only was he scoring all the buckets, he was also defending LeBron James. So that's why I say that. When he's coming in here to be the guy offensively, I don't mean like all the shots. He's not going to be taking 50 shots a game on a team like this.
Right.
But I'm telling you, in those fourth quarters, when Jimmy Butler's ass is going to be tired and he's supposed to be locking up LeBron, or he's supposed to be locking up KD, or if he's supposed to be locking up somebody else, and same thing with Bam, James Harden better be picking up the slack on the other end.
Same scenario. Is he better than any option you have on your roster right now?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Maybe not better than my little Gogi in some certain situations. When Gogi gets it going with one of those runs, when he's doing he's got the flexing going. If I'm honest.
Are you serious? Stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
We spent, you and me, we spent years making fun of the step back.
Of course.
Cheating step back.
Hey, nobody said that it's a hard watch at times.
Now I'm gonna have my son on his little Nerf hoop. He's gonna be doing the dribble step back. I'm gonna be like, guys, cut that garbage out.
No, he's not. No, first of all, no, he's not. He's not gonna have feet like that. He's gonna be running around doing the Duncan Robinson. You know why? You don't.
I'm gonna say my son's. I'm gonna say his athletic future.
Your son's not gonna say James Harden's my favorite player.
If I had to guess my son's athletic future, it's probably first base.
Oh, so bat with no gloves,
catcher. Guard. And I'm not talking guard on the basketball court. I'm talking left guard.
You're raising him to be incognito.
I honestly think he could be the next incognito. Ninja! Punch right in the balls.
Oh, my goodness.